Okay, let's unpack this. We're about to delve into a situation that has truly shaken a prominent educational institution and, frankly, the trust of an entire community. Our deep dive today focuses on the recent, deeply troubling incidents at South Calcutta Law College.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't just any institution. It's a long-standing pillar of legal education in Kolkata, established way back in 1963.
A long history there.
Exactly. Our mission is to really understand the layers of what happened, the immediate repercussions that sent shockwaves, you know, and what this whole ordeal tells us about larger systemic issues of campus safety, especially within the Indian context. We've gathered some insights that really lay bare just how complex this crisis is.
It's striking, isn't it, how swiftly an institution, one dedicated to legal education, suddenly found itself at the epicenter of such a grave crisis. We're looking at events that unfolded very recently, June 25, 2025, and the immediate decisive responses came just days later, by July 1st.
Wow, just a few days to react to something so profound.
Yes, exactly. It's truly shocking. A place of learning meant to be a haven, right, for aspiring legal minds. And it suddenly became a site of profound insecurity.
Yeah.
And this isn't just about abstract policies or, institutional reputation. It's profoundly about real people. Specifically, the severe breach of safety experienced by a 24-year-old first-year student. That human element, I think, is central here.
Absolutely. It grounds everything.
Right.
All right, let's unpack the specifics of June 25th. This happened at South Calcutta Law College in Kolkata's Kasbah area. Can you walk us through what transpired that evening?
Right. So a first-year student was on campus after hours. Seems she was just there to fill out some exam forms. A routine task, really.
Okay.
But what should have been routine took a horrific turn. The alleged gang rape occurred right there, chillingly, in the security guard's room.
The security guard's room. That detail is just incredibly disturbing.
It is deeply unsettling.
And who are the accused individuals involved in this?
Well, the accused are Manojit Mishra, he's 31, a casual employee, and astonishingly, a practicing lawyer.
A lawyer.
Yes. Then Zaib Ahmed, who's 19, and Pramit Mukherjee, 20. And perhaps the most shocking aspect. The security guard himself, Pinaki Banerjee, was reportedly present during the incident.
Present. And didn't intervene.
Reportedly did not intervene, yeah.
That inaction. It's just beyond comprehension. So the victim, she managed to escape eventually.
She did. She escaped and immediately reported what happened. This led to medical examinations, which confirmed forceful penetration, along with bite marks and nail scratches, evidence of a struggle.
And I heard there was CCTV footage.
Yes, crucially, the CCTV footage from the campus showed her being forced into that room. That visual evidence really leaves no doubt about the coercion involved. It strengthens the case considerably.
So with that evidence, the college's response must have been swift. What immediate actions did they take?
Indeed, the college's institutional response, which was initiated by July 1st, seems remarkably quick, especially, given the sheer gravity of it all. The governing body, chaired by Trinamool Congress MLA Ashok Kumar Deb, convened almost immediately and took some very decisive measures. They didn't waste time.
Okay, like what were those measures?
First, they terminated Manojit Mishra's services immediately.
Right.
Then they expelled the two students, Zaib Ahmed and Pramit Mukherjee.
Okay.
Beyond that, they made the significant decision to apply for canceling Mishra's bar council membership, which, for a practicing lawyer, that's a huge professional consequence.
A huge deal, yeah.
Definitely. And the security agency itself was show-caused for negligence, clearly indicating they're demanding accountability there, too.
So they're not just looking at the individuals, but also the system, the security apparatus.
Exactly. And looking forward, they announced plans to significantly enhance CCTV coverage across the campus, replace the existing security agency entirely, and critically deploy female security guards.
Oh, that seems important.
Very. Furthermore, they offered financial assistance for the victim's medical treatment, subject to her agreement, of course, which at least acknowledges the need for support. The campus was even closed temporarily, except for the admin office for exam forms, to sort of minimize disruption to upcoming exams while dealing with the immediate fallout.
Those immediate actions certainly sound necessary. But you raised a crucial point earlier. Do they really address the root cause? Or are they more sort of reactive?
That's the core question, isn't it?
Because when we look into the background of someone like Manojit Mishra, it throws up even more disturbing questions about the system itself.
Precisely. While these are decisive actions, the deeper insight is whether they are merely reactive measures or part of a systemic overhaul, one that addresses the very culture of impunity perhaps suggested by Mishra's history. It's like, are you patching a leak or are you repairing the entire plumbing system?
And Mishra's history.
Right.
It's incredibly troubling. He was first admitted to the college in 2013, but get this, he was rusticated, kicked out,
Yep.
for actually stabbing another student.
Stabbing someone, yes.
Yet, astonishingly, he was readmitted in 2017 and went on to graduate in 2022. How does someone with a history of stabbing get readmitted, let alone stay affiliated with a law college?
That detail alone is deeply, deeply disturbing. And the whispers suggest his association with the Trinamool Congress Chhatra Parishad, the TMCP.
The student wing of the ruling party.
Yes, that connection may have played a significant role in his reinstatement. Now, this isn't just an oversight, potentially. It's a stark, chilling insight into how political affiliations might, frighteningly, seem to override basic safety protocols, basic accountability.
And it gets worse, right? His criminal record is apparently extensive.
It seems so. Reports mention a history of complaints and FIRs, including multiple sexual assault cases across South Calcutta, not just this one incident.
Multiple cases.
That's what's reported. There was even an accusation back in 2016 of him leading a mob to vandalize the college itself.
Vandalize the college.
Yes. And many of these past cases, shockingly, were reportedly dropped. Potentially, again, due to those alleged political connections. Mishra's documented pattern of behavior, coupled with these alleged political connections, it shines a hard, undeniable light on institutional oversight. Or maybe, the stark lack of it, it forces us to ask, how did someone with such a deeply problematic history remain not just within the college's orbit, but actually as a casual employee even after graduating?
It's baffling. And Zaib Ahmed and Pramit Mukherjee, the other two accused, they were first-year students.
First-year students seemingly pulled into this.
And then you have Pinaki Banerjee, the security guard, whose inaction just compounded the whole security lapse.
Absolutely.
It's truly chilling to consider that a practicing lawyer and law students people meant to uphold justice, the law, are at the center of such grave allegations. The irony is just stark.
It is stark. And this connects directly to that broader issue of student politics, doesn't it? And its potential to compromise campus safety and accountability. When political affiliations can apparently shield individuals from consequences for past actions, it creates a deeply unsafe environment for everyone else.
So what about the legal proceedings now? The police made arrests quickly.
Yes, the police acted quickly. Mishra, Ahmed, and Mukherjee were arrested on June 27th, and Banerjee, the guard, on June 28th, so 4 arrests in total.
Okay.
And the Kolkata police formed a 5-member special investigation team, an SIT, led by an assistant commissioner. That signals they're taking it very seriously.
What charges are they facing?
The accused face charges of gangrape and wrongful confinement. And as we mentioned, the medical reports and that damning CCTV footage provide strong evidence for the prosecution.
But even with strong evidence, it feels like the path to justice for victims of sexual assault in India can be incredibly challenging.
It absolutely can be, and this raises that important question about legal outcomes. India's conviction rates for rape cases, well, they remain persistently low. Around 27%, according to the National Crime Records Bureau, the NCRB.
Only 27%. That's sobering.
It is, and this low rate, combined with the pervasive, deeply ingrained issue of victim blaming in society, can significantly impact how these cases ultimately conclude. It's a huge barrier.
So outside the legal process, what's been the reaction from the wider community? I imagine the outrage has been significant.
Oh, indeed. Palpable. We've seen protests erupting not just outside the college itself, but across the city. People demanding justice for the victim, yes, but also critically demanding safer campuses for everyone.
Has this become politicized? How have the political parties reacted?
Well, inevitably, yes. The Bharatiya Janata Party, the BJP, quickly accused the state government of failing to ensure safety. Some of their leaders, like Sukanta Majumdar, were even detained during protests. The ruling Trinamool Congress, on the other hand, while condemning the incident strongly, has urged against politicization. They're trying, it seems, to distance the party from Mishra's alleged past political ties with their student wing.
Right.
And adding another layer of scrutiny, the National Commission for Women, the NCW, has taken notice on its own suo motu cognizance. They dispatched a team led by Archana Majumdar to investigate.
So national attention as well.
Yes. That kind of high-level intervention really underscores the severity and the national implications of what happened here.
This really broadens the discussion then, doesn't it, to the overall state of campus safety across India. What does the bigger picture tell us?
It's a vital question. While specific stats for law colleges are hard to come by, the general NCRB data, as we touched on, paints a sobering picture. Over 32,000 reported rape cases in 2019, over 33,000 in 2018, and that consistent conviction rate stuck around 27%. It's deeply concerning.
And those are just the reported cases.
Exactly. It's critical to remember the likelihood of significant underreporting. Sexual violence still carries such a pervasive societal stigma, many victims just don't come forward, so the true numbers are likely much, much higher.
Are there regulations for colleges, mechanisms meant to prevent this sort of thing?
There are. The University Grants Commission, the UGC, does mandate internal complaints committees, ICCs. That's under its 2015 regulations. It's a vital step on paper.
But how effective are they in practice?
Well, that's the issue. Their effectiveness can vary wildly from one institution to another. It really underscores the urgent need for more proactive measures, not just committees, but genuinely enhanced security systems, better lighting on campus, comprehensive awareness programs on consent, on respectful behavior.
Proactive, not just reactive.
Precisely.
And this brings us back to that tricky issue of student unions and their political affiliations.
Absolutely. The fact that someone like Mishra, with that disturbing history, might have been shielded from past consequences because of his alleged TMCP association, it just highlights how deeply these political affiliations can compromise basic campus safety and accountability. It really calls for a fundamental rethink, about accountability in student governance, ensuring unions genuinely prioritize student welfare over any political agendas.
So beyond the institutional changes, what's most important now? For the victim and for how society responds?
Support for the victim is paramount. That means counseling, proper legal aid, robust protection from any harassment or intimidation. That's absolutely crucial. And more broadly, society must start by believing survivors. We need to provide safe spaces for them to come forward and, crucially, hold perpetrators accountable. Foster a culture where justice isn't just some abstract ideal, but a lived reality.
It's a huge task. And the South Calcutta Law College itself, it has this long, proud legacy of producing legal professionals. Now it faces an undeniable, significant reputational challenge.
Absolutely. Its history of academic excellence is, for the moment at least, completely overshadowed by this horrific incident.
Rebuilding that trust with students, faculty, the wider community, that's going to require immense transparency, consistent action, and really deep community engagement. It won't be easy.
No, it won't. In this particular case, it also brings into sharp focus some of the wider systemic gaps in our legal protections against sexual violence in India. While we do have laws, like the Indian Penal Code, Section 375, and the 2013 Criminal Law Amendment Act laws designed to address sexual violence, the actual path to justice is, well, it's fraught with barriers.
Like the underreporting and the long trials we mentioned earlier.
Exactly. Pervasive underreporting, huge challenges with delayed evidence collection, sometimes contamination of evidence, and then the notoriously lengthy, drawn-out trials. It's clear that while the legal framework exists on paper, its application, the actual journey to justice for victims, is incredibly complex and often deeply frustrating. And, just thinking about the wider context of legal gaps, it's worth noting that marital rape, unfortunately, remains uncriminalized for cohabiting spouses above 18. That's another area of ongoing contention and concern within the broader legal system regarding sexual violence.
Right, another piece of the puzzle.
This incident at South Calcutta Law College, it's really more than just a shocking headline. It's a stark revelation, isn't it, of the deep vulnerabilities that persist on our campuses, even in institutions dedicated to upholding the law. And while the college's immediate response, the expulsions, the terminations, plans for better security, that's noted, and it's certainly a step.
But is it enough?
Well, the broader, more enduring challenge is fundamentally creating truly safe, respectful, and accountable educational environments. Not just there, but across the entire nation. Knowledge is most valuable when it's understood and applied. And here, this knowledge points directly to the urgent need for systemic change, not just these reactive measures that only seem to pop up after a tragedy strikes.
So where does that leave us? What does this all mean for us, the listener, and for society as a whole? This deep dive, it really forces us to confront a vital question, doesn't it? Will this incident at South Calcutta Law College be just another tragic story, one that eventually fades from the headlines? Or will it be the catalyst for real fundamental change in how we ensure safety and justice on every single campus, not just in Kolkata, but right across India? It's a question that I think demands our continued thought and engagement long after this conversation ends.